Welcome Matthew Ford, candidate for Davidson Town Commissioner, and thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to respond to 3 questions during this Facebook interview. All candidates will answer the same 3 questions, and we'll have about 3 minutes per question. And we'll signal you when we get close to the 3-minute mark for each question. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
First question. What do you believe are the 3 most important issues facing our town right now, and how would you address these critical needs?
Sure. 3 of the most important issues I think are facing our town today are trust and accountability, coming up with a balanced growth plan, and finding a solution to MI Connection. I think that what we've seen lately is that there's been some issues with trust in our local town government, and I want to be a person that's going to help build that bridge back between the citizens and the town government. I want to be able to be out there listening to people and being able to help, be the bridge and close the gap and make people feel like the decisions that we're making are in the best interest of the town and we're doing the right thing for the majority of the people. From a balanced growth standpoint, our growth has outpaced our infrastructure. And what I want to make sure that we do is that we have an infrastructure plan in place first before we go add more growth. I'm not opposed to growth. I think that we will grow. I think that we have to grow, but I think we can do it in a more balanced manner. It's not a race to 30,000 people. It's got to be a balanced approach. And then for MI Connection, it's $1 million a year right now out of our local budget, which is almost 10% of our total budget. And we need to find a solution to exit MI Connection somehow, some way in the near future. That money can be better used for infrastructure. That money can be better used for our police, our fire department, safety, security, things like that. I think that there's better uses for that $1 million other than funding the debt of a company.
Thank you. Question number 2 has 2 parts, and it has to do with strengths and weaknesses. What are the greatest strengths or experiences you bring as a candidate, and how would you apply these to better Davidson?
Sure. So I think one of my better strengths is my business experience. I'm a senior director of finance at Newell Brands. I work in consumer products. So my roles and responsibilities have varied over the course of the years, including manufacturing and operations, so planning and capital infrastructure, for example, the new town hall that they're looking to do. From a mergers and acquisitions standpoint, I was the lead on the consumer storage sale. So I was the person that was basically the one that did the plan and did the deal to exit our consumer storage business. So as we go to MI Connection and look at exiting that, I have a strategy, I have a plan. We will see if it works out, but I think that we'll be able to get a deal done and be able to get out of MI Connection. So with my experience in business and finance, I think that I'm the right guy for the job for a lot of the things that are kind of coming up right now over the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. And on the reverse side, what are your weaknesses or areas for further development, and how would you address these in order to best serve our town?
So I think for the board, one of my biggest weaknesses would be that I've only been living in Davidson for 6 years. I've lived in the Charlotte area for over 15, but I think that what's really important to Davidson to maintain its unique and small town charm is maintaining and recognizing our history. And so only living here for 6 years, I think there's a lot about our history that I just don't know because I haven't been here. I haven't lived here my whole life. I haven't lived here 20, 30 years. And so the way to overcome that is make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the people that have that history, and that whenever you go forward with a project or you go forward with something, you're asking the right people and listening. I think listening is the solution to most problems. And so that would be how I would kind of solve that fact that I've only been here as a resident in Davidson for 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And the last question, what do you think the role of commissioner is and should be? And what duties are prescribed by the statute, and how does that translate to day-to-day operations in Davidson?
So my view on a board commissioner is basically the champion for the people. We are the voice of the people. We are the ones that the people have chosen to make the decisions. And so before we make any choice, we need to make sure that we've listened and are making a choice that's in the best interest of the majority of the people. We're not going to agree on every issue. I'm not going to vote every way that every person wants. It's impossible, but I can promise you that as a commissioner, the way that I will vote having a very thoughtful approach, listening to the people, and making sure that what we do and what we say is in the best interest of the overall people. So I think that that's one of the bigger things for the town commissioner. I also think that we need to make sure that we are being fiscally responsible, making sure that we're balancing our growth, we need to make sure that we're doing all those things to ensure that Davidson maintains its unique and small town charm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.